Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel, where we unpack South Africa's political soap opera, and trust me, today's episode has all the drama of a primetime series. The lead actor in this installment? None other than Democratic Alliance leader John Steenhuisen, who has taken aim at the government's favorite pastime, launching commissions of inquiry like they're going out of fashion. Now, Steenhuisen isn't exactly whispering here. He's saying what many South Africans have been thinking for years: these commissions have become political theatre. They cost the taxpayer millions, they reveal mountains of corruption, but when it comes to actual arrests or recovering the stolen billions, it's as if someone lost the script halfway through the show. We get the build-up, the big revelations, the dramatic pauses, and then nothing. He points to the Zondo Commission into state capture as the perfect example. On one hand, it was a masterclass in investigative work, page after page, witness after witness, a mountain of evidence showing how deeply the rot had set in during the Zuma years. But here's the catch: years later, only a handful of prosecutions have even started, and the recovery of stolen funds. Let's just say if it were a sporting event, the score would be corruption, 10, accountability, 0. Steenhuisen's frustration is not just about the waste of time, it's about the pattern. He accuses the ANC of using these inquiries as political shields, a way to look busy without actually getting their own house in order. It's a bit like a company holding endless internal investigations while the guilty managers keep their offices, their perks, and their company cars. And here's where it gets more pointed: Steenhuisen is calling for real reforms, not another glossy press release. He wants the National Prosecuting Authority to be given the resources, independence, and political space to do its job without having to look over its shoulder at Luthuli House. His message is simple: stop asking South Africans to be patient while the wheels of justice turn slower than a Johannesburg traffic light during load shedding. South Africans don't need more investigations into what is already obvious, he says. We need arrests, prosecutions, and the recovery of stolen funds. It's hard to argue with that. After all, how many more times must we pay for the same story to be told before someone actually goes to jail? Now, analysts are warning that this endless cycle of talk without action is not just frustrating, it's dangerous. The more people see high-profile crooks walking free, the less they believe in the system. And when people lose faith in democratic institutions, they stop voting, they stop engaging, and they start looking for more extreme alternatives. In other words, if the government keeps kicking the can down the road, that road might just lead to a very different political landscape in the next election. Let's be real. Part of the reason these commissions are so popular in government circles is that they can drag on for years. It buys time, cools public outrage, and shifts headlines away from the heat of the moment. By the time the final report is released, the scandal has faded, the public is distracted by a new crisis, and the politicians implicated can claim, that's old news. But South Africans aren't as forgetful as some leaders hope. Many still remember the promises made after the Zondo Commission, that heads will roll, that no one is above the law. Instead, the only thing rolling is the public's eyes every time a new inquiry is announced. There's also the cost factor. These commissions are not cheap. The Zondo Commission alone cost over R1 billion. That's money that could have funded schools, hospitals, or, dare we say it, the very investigators and prosecutors who are supposed to be putting criminals behind bars. Instead, we spend it on hearings where lawyers read out WhatsApp messages between corrupt businessmen and ministers, and we all gasp at the drama like it's a soapy marathon. Of course, the ANC's response to criticism like Steenhuisen's usually follows a familiar pattern: they agree in principle, remind everyone that these things take time, and promise that justice will be served in due course. But in due course has become political code for don't hold your breath. What Steenhuisen is trying to do here is to make the public connect the dots. If the ruling party truly wanted to end corruption, it wouldn't just set up commissions, it would make sure that the findings lead directly to criminal charges, asset seizures, and convictions. The fact that this hasn't happened at any meaningful scale tells you something about where the priorities really are. And here's the twist: Steenhuisen knows that hammering on this issue is politically smart. The DA has positioned itself as the anti-corruption alternative to the ANC, and frustration with the lack of accountability is one of the few issues that cuts across race, class, and geography in South Africa. Whether you're a wealthy business owner in Cape Town or a taxi driver in Limpopo, you've seen how corruption steals from everyone. But this isn't just about scoring political points. The deeper question is whether South Africa's democracy can survive if there's no real consequence for looting the state. You can't keep asking people to play by the rules when the political elite seems to be playing a different game entirely. So here's the challenge: will the ANC act on the Zondo recommendations and the findings of other commissions, or will we be back here in a year talking about yet another inquiry into yet another scandal? Steenhuisen's bet is that unless the public keeps up the pressure, the latter is far more likely. And that, folks, is where you come in. Public pressure works, but only if it's loud, consistent, and impossible to ignore. When citizens make it clear they're tired of paying for political theater and demand a real ending, with villains in jail and stolen money recovered, politicians start to sweat. If you've had enough of commissions that go nowhere, drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Steenhuisen is right, or is this just opposition politicking? And more importantly, what do you think it will take to finally break the cycle of corruption without consequences? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes another commission will fix South Africa. Spoiler alert, it won't, unless the follow-through is real. Thanks for watching, everyone. Stay informed, stay engaged, and remember, democracy is only as strong as the people willing to defend it. See you next time.